Hi, third grade. I wanted to quickly go over your rubric. This is what you will be graded on. I wanted to introduce it. As I said in the video, you are going to be graded on race, whether or not you're including RACE into your writing. You're going to be graded on a scale from 1 to 4, 4 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So my advice to you is to try not to be a 1 and a 2. You want to stay clear of 1 and 2. So try not to get a lot of those. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through each of these categories. So to get the highest score in R, that means all parts of the question were, or the writing prompt in this case, was fully restated, just like in my example video. And then number 3 is maybe only parts of the question were restated clearly, but not a full topic sentence. And this one is the question was partially restated or not restated clearly. So maybe what your topic is not clear. And then number 1 is that it's just not restated at all. So go ahead, make sure you are watching that instructional video before attempting this assignment. And then A is that you basically answered the writing prompt correctly, and it's detailed. To get the highest score, you answered the prompt correctly. You told me who the person is that reminds you of the characters in the Magic Treehouse, and you told me their relationship to you, because remember, it has to be a person in your life, just like I did in my example. Say you answered that, but it lacked detail. You didn't tell me who that person was in your life. And then say that you attempted to answer the response, but it's not relevant. It doesn't really make sense to the topic. And this is if you did not answer or it's missing, okay? Then C is you provided evidence. To get a 4, you, it says 2 or more, but it should say 1 or more. So ignore that. I'm going to change that and make sure it's posted correctly. But that should say 1 or more specific pieces of evidence are included, and cite it correctly, meaning you could tell me, you tell me exactly where I can find it in the book or the chapter or the page. So 3 is you cited evidence from the text from either book. It could be Dinosaurs Before Dark. It could be the new book. But you did not tell me the name of the book or the chapter, just one of these, or the page was not cited. And just like in my example, I said that my information could be found in the second novel of the Magic Treehouse book. That was me citing it. So just one of those. You don't have to include all of those. It says name of book, chapter, page. You don't have to include all of those, just at least one where I can find that piece of evidence is all I'm looking for. And then 2 is there's text evidence, but it's not relevant. It doesn't make sense to the topic. And I get to get a 1. It's not missing. It's missing. Now, for explaining, you need to make sure you're telling me the relationship. To get a 4, you're telling me the relationship between the evidence you provided and the person that you're writing about. Just like I did at the end of my example. I cited my text, and then I explained that Maya was like that because of her relationship with the animals in our house. So I explained that clearly. Partially means you kind of explained it, but you lack some detail. 2, to get a 2, that means you attempted to explain it, but it's not clear and it doesn't make sense to the text that you provided, the text evidence that you provided. And 1 is just no connection whatsoever. Now, I will be listening for your grammar, and I will be able to tell whether or not they are complete sentences and what kind of punctuation you're using in your audio or video that you're using. I am not focusing on spelling, but I still want you to use your best guess spelling. But just know that's not going to be a main thing that I'm looking for this part that says conventions, okay? So make sure your sentences are complete and clear, and it sounds like the way you talk, like your everyday language. All right, I cannot wait to listen to your responses.